things, as Lope and I have talked, as she's begun to do work at the national level for us, is to make the connections that I know from New York, but to talk specifically about the ways that what New Jersey has experienced, what your communities, your neighborhoods that you work in has experienced during this crisis, is happening all across this country. Whether it's the negative equity that so many homeowners are facing, the concentrated foreclosures and the way that eats away at the core of so much of what you and I have been trying to do over decades. I mean, to see those gains that we've achieved over decades put at risk in just a matter of a few months is enormously difficult to go through and to watch. And also the work that you're doing to try to get communities that too often share problems but haven't talked about ways to share solutions, to bring them together, to band together and to plan as a region for a better way to grow and to ensure that all families benefit from that growth. And it sounds like you had a great conversation about that just before the lunch. But I want you to know that with your partnership and with the leadership of champions like my good friend and a great leader, Bob Menendez, he has been just a fantastic chairman of the Housing Subcommittee. And even though he's only here with us by video, I want to recognize his I also want to recognize Senator Frank Lautenberg, who has also been a great supporter of all of our efforts in the Obama administration. So what I do want to recognize today and start with is to make the fundamental point that we and you all in particular have made progress. We have shown that if we have the right tools, the right strategies, that we can make progress on these issues. I want to talk about the work that we've been doing to help struggling homeowners not just avoid foreclosure, but to rebuild their equity, as well as the critical work, and let's be honest, that still lies ahead to ensure that every family gets the help that they need. I want to talk about how in a tough budget environment, the administration is helping to provide those tools that you need to spur regional growth. And I want to talk about how we're using these tools and these partnerships to help you in New Jersey create an economy that, as the president likes to say, is built to last. Now, as tough as the struggles are, and Ray and I were just talking about this, as much as you're still facing so much of the brunt of this crisis, let's remember where we were 3.5 years ago when I abandoned my mother-in-law and moved down to DC. Remember that in the same month that the president walked into the Oval Office, in January of 2009, this country lost over 800,000 jobs. Remember that home prices had been dropping every month for 30 straight months. You know, there's this focus this week in the press on the loss of wealth for American families. Between 2005 and 2009, so this is leading up to the president even taking office, African American families lost 54% of their wealth. Latino families lost 2/3 of their wealth. 4 years leading up to 2009. That is what we faced. And every single month, we were setting new records in foreclosure loans. And you all know as well that New Jersey bore more than its share of that pain. Think about the fact that in Newark's Essex County, the delinquency rate was higher than the county that many people think of as a ground zero for this crisis, Flint, Michigan. But today, while there is much more work to be done, and I want to come back and talk about the work that remains to be done, we we have to recognize that with the work that you have done, the partnership with the Obama administration and friends in Congress like Bob Menendez, we have made real progress. Foreclosure notices around the country today are half of what they were in early 2009. Because we've helped communities struggling with concentrated foreclosures, places with targeted neighborhood stabilization investments have seen vacancy rates fall and home prices rise. Most importantly, while the recent jobs report reminds us how much work we have yet to do, this economy has added private sector jobs for 27 straight months, for a total of 4.3 million new jobs. And as a result, we have begun to see the housing market turn around. We're coming out of the best winter and spring for home sales that this country has seen since the crisis began. We've now seen in 2 of the 3 national indices, for the first time since the crisis began, not just monthly increases in home prices, but year-over-year increases in home prices. And you put that together